Hey everybody, welcome back. This is actually my second time doing this because OBS decided to be OBS and just swap what microphone I was using despite the fact that I only have one microphone. So that was great. So if this one sucks, I'm sorry. I tried my best. But this is something different compared to what we normally do. A big creator called CallMeKevin, you've probably heard of him, most people have, has recently bought a house in Spain and did sort of like a call to arms for home renovation ideas, basically. And so I thought I would give it a go, and why not record it? So I'm just fixing the roof up because it was annoying me a little bit. I think I did overhang it slightly, and that was a mistake because I thought it was already overhanged, and looking back at this it was not. But anyway, that's a subtle mistake that it's inconsequential, realistically. So yeah, we're just going around and prettying up the roof line a little bit. I really do like that sort of brown trim, but I really don't know what happened on this little bit here where it's sort of white and brown, and I moved it out and it was fine, and yeah, I don't know what happened with that. It's just being weird. But I swapped out all the archways, all the doors, and all the windows as well. So the front 3 windows where they're like doors now, that is what they actually want to do. I'm saying they because I built this for both Kevin and Anna because they live together, even though Kevin technically didn't mention Anna at all. Which, you know, it's fine. But yeah, so I did try and take both of them into account when I was building this, and so it was really difficult because 1, this house is not to scale in the slightest, and 2, I don't actually know what either of them like. Kevin didn't go into any sort of decor styles or what they do like, what they don't like, what they do want, what they don't want. Nothing, other than they've knocked out the partition walls for the old bedrooms because they want to turn it into like a living space. Other than that, no idea. Which is fine because like sometimes you don't want to tell people what you like, so then you get like a real eclectic assortment of ideas, and then you actually have some variety to choose from. So like I get why people don't say what they like, but for someone that really likes fitting a brief, it irks me. But I did try and keep this renovation realistic, so like keeping the fridge and the oven in moderately the same place, keeping the sink in the same place because moving plumbing and electrical is expensive. Also, like if you've got special cooker like gas lines or electric mains, and that moving that it's not great. And I also didn't remove, other than the walls Kevin wanted removed, I didn't remove any of the other walls. I did remove too many walls in the beginning, I think, and I had to like pull it back because I think I got it wrong. Yeah, so I'm adding it back in now. But I think overall I did okay. For the windows, I mainly tried to keep them the same size because I don't know how pricey it is to rip out windows and wall along with it to make all the windows bigger. Somebody has a motorbike, good for them, I guess. So yeah, it was weird. So I did just try and keep the windows the same size, other than the 3 that they said that they wanted to make into doors. And then I really like that archway with like the thicker bit at the top, so I did swap out a few of those archways. And then this is sort of Kevin's recording studio area, so I kept his red curtain because he has the red curtain in like his backdrop of like every video. I don't know if he actually likes that curtain or it was just what he had on hand, but we kept it. And then I really wanted like this huge desk moment, dual computer situation, but it really wasn't working. I do end up liking what we end up with, but yeah, I'm then trying to find like something on the side because it's a bit lopsided and it's just a bit weird, and that didn't work out. And then I thought like, oh, storage boxes for his tech and stuff and whatever else. Because he did have boxes laying around in his office. Like, I tried to keep it realistic to the people that I'm building for. So we do end up going with a completely different desk in here. I think we go for one from, yes, Dream Home Decorator. In that, like, pale wood and black. It's a really nice swatch. I do wish it was a dark wood and black, because that's personally my style, but it's still a really nice desk nonetheless. And then I do like this black paneling on the wall, which is supposed to simulate like soundproofing. And then obviously we had to get our Lord and Saviour Jim Pickens in here, because obviously. And then I put in like a little bit of a rug for like sound dampening. I don't end up keeping this terracotta in here because it's currently carpet, and they're ripping the carpet out. So I thought, or I don't know what sort of flooring they would want. Probably not carpet. But I did like this nice wood flooring because I thought that could be quite nice. And then I tried to get this huge desk moment to work over here as well, and then it wasn't. So we do end up, I want to say shrinking it down, but that's not a word. And toning it down a little bit. Yeah, and then sandwiching it between those bookcases. I think that's quite nice. And then I added a chair in here. Originally it was going to be like Anna's chair if she wanted to come hang out, but then I found out that she actually does all the production behind the channel. So maybe that this space is Anna's office. So Kevin has the recording studio, Anna has the office, and that's Kevin's chair. I mean, I don't know who edits, I don't know who does what, but between them there's enough space for both of them in there, so it's fine. And then I did put these black curtains in. I do like the black curtains, but we end up swapping them out for red ones later on to keep the same sort of vibe cohesive through there. And then I do this little recording music booth that Kevin suggested that he might want. And I put in like a small table because I did want the space to be usable in The Sims. And then I just put a computer on it. We got a guitar and a stool, a microphone, and I think I already said guitar, but if I didn't, guitar. And then it's just a nice cute little music booth, and I think that works. And then we do move on shortly. I do love this paneling though, that's gorgeous. I wish I'd used it in more places, but because I didn't know their style, I did try and keep it sort of a bit more normal and not my own style, sort of like light colours, and that sort of thing. And then I originally thought that this was the main bedroom, and then I ended up moving it because I'm pretty sure the main bedroom is the one with the ensuite, which is not this one. I was just purely going off of window placement, and then I realised that the window placement is exactly the same in both bedrooms. So that didn't help. So yeah, we go for this nice sort of green vibe, because what I was doing is I was going through and looking at some of the backdrops on Kevin's videos, and which is basically the same all the time. But then I also went to Anna's channel and looked at her backdrop and trying to get some sort of ideas of both of them and what they might like. It wasn't particularly helpful, but I think it got through enough for me to throw something I'm semi-confident about. At least this green thing is quite nice, with like the greens and the greys and the whites. And then we put together a nice little ensuite bathroom. Get that green coming through again. And then that mirror, I actually really like that mirror. It's just like a really nice large bathroom mirror, which isn't like massive off the wall, and we don't have very many of those, unfortunately. And then it really irks me that those towel swatches are not the same, because they updated one and they didn't do the other, or they didn't do the same colours on the other, and it's like a whole thing, but it's whatever. I can never get matching swatches on those towels, and it's really annoying. And then the spare bedroom, I did sort of a more bold colour palette, because I've noticed, not me personally, but I've noticed for a lot of people the spare bedroom is a place for them to be a bit more creative with their style. So I did sort of go down that vibe of having it a bit more patterned and textured, and it took me about 15 years to find art for this room, but we managed it. And then I sort of do this bathroom and that bedroom at the same time because I got a bit stuck and I was like, I need a break, I need to do something else. So we did the bathroom. I ended up moving that window over just a smidge to make room for the shower. And then we just throw this bathroom together. It's basically the same items as the other one, same colour palette and everything. And then we get some curtains in. I think I end up changing that, or at least the orientation, because we have fence and gate issues later on, because of course we do. And then we just end up getting like a little blind, and then I do absolutely everything I can to avoid doing that living room until the end, because I struggled with it so much. And then I did end up realising that Anna doesn't actually have like an office or her own space anymore. So I give her this little nook off of the rumpus room area. So I give her the vintage or the antique chess table because she's like really good at chess. And then we just do like a little sofa and some storage and stuff like that. Just make it really nice. In hindsight, I wish I had put a curtain on the inside of that door, but I didn't. Which is unfortunate, but whatever. Like, I think at that point I was so burnt out with curtains, I was like, I'm done. And we ended up going for that sort of green theme that we got throughout the rest of the house. Since recording this, I've seen that they have a black sofa, at least in Anna's office, I think it is. So, yeah, if I could go back and change some of this, I probably would. I would darken it down a bit, but I still think it's quite nice, even just as like a spatial concept. Because like colours, you can change them. I also don't, I think they live in Spain currently, so maybe it doesn't make any difference, but I also don't know like terms of colours and what fabrics are good for hotter climates and all that sort of thing. So I did try and keep it quite light, because I was trying to think of the heat as well. But yeah, I really don't know if that has any sort of effect. And then in here they have sort of like this built-in fireplace display case moment thing. It's all like built into the wall, and it's really cool, and I'm assuming that they're keeping it. They haven't said that they're not keeping it, so I just tried to like do something to replicate it. I don't know how well I did, but I think it gets the vibe across at least. And then we just add like a TV in here, and then like some games consoles, board games, that sort of thing. And I tried to make it like a really fun sort of space to like just come and hang out in. Because Kevin said that they wanted sort of like a space where it's okay to get it a bit messy. It's okay to like leave it a mess. It's like a hobbies room rather than like a main area of the house where they have to keep it clean. And I did try and still sort of bring that across. So it's got some sofas in it, it's got plants, it's got an easel and sort of like an art area, and it's just, I think it's a really fun and relaxed space. I hope I did it justice. And then that nook on the left over there is sort of I turned that into more sort of like a music space. I don't know whether that would actually be a thing in their home, but I really didn't know what else to do with it, especially within like the constraints of The Sims. So I think it works well enough. You know, I think this is actually a really pretty house and like a really pretty layout. I wouldn't mind living here or in like a house with a layout like this. Which could actually be kind of helpful actually, because I'm currently trying to do like a dream home collab, and I'm like, I have no idea what floor plans look like for bungalows, and like realistically I'm not very good at stairs with my house, so it would have to be a bungalow, and I'm really struggling. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That's just something that I'm sort of working on passively, probably today a bit more, at least trying to get a floor plan down. But anyway, I did turn this into sort of like a little music area. I don't know whether that's realistic for them. Also, Kevin really confused me because he was talking about like changing the entrance to the rumpus room to this little nook area, I think. But then he was also like, and then we have these beautiful archways that we want to keep. And I was like, I'm so confused as to how you access this space. So I just kept it exactly as it was. And then out here we have this really nice sort of like indoor outdoor space. Like you're outside and I can imagine it's lovely under here, especially having dinner out there or something. That would be amazing. So like you're in the shade but you're still kind of outside, and yeah, I imagine that'd be really nice. And then I just sort of nicked a chair from that table because I imagine like when you're cooking or whatever, you would just do that. That's realistic. That's what people do. And now I put it off long enough, I now have to tackle this space, which really was not easy for me. Like, I knew I needed a TV in here, but it was like, where do I put it? And then we have this sort of like TV cabinet area, but like realistically it had to go here because otherwise it's in between those doors in the middle of a walkway, and that's just not good planning. On the left, or it's in between the doors on the right and it's taking up the entire room, so you don't have space for a dining table, which also isn't good planning. So like it had to go there. So yeah, I really struggled, and it does feel a bit squished. I wish I had like pulled it back a bit, but I don't know, I struggled. We do end up going for like this sort of really cozy vibe and then having like a 3-piece suite in there. So yeah, you see what I mean about it feeling squished? It's just, I wish I'd given it a little bit more space in hindsight, but I think I was so overwhelmed by this point. I was just like, I don't know. It was such like, it's not an awkward space though. It's just, I don't know what it was. I think because it's not to scale, which is kind of an issue. But we have the same colour palette coming through, at least with the sort of mint green, cream, salmon-y colour that we've got through the rest of the place. And then I was trying to like scooch that into the corner, and then that wasn't working, so then I had to give it more room and be like, no, we're just gonna have like an actual table and it'd be fine. But then I didn't want it encroaching in the walkway, and it was like a whole thing. And then I do regret that mirror placement. If I could go back and change that mirror placement, I would. I would put it in the little dark nook where I put a light and some art. Just because a mirror probably would have been better up there to bounce the light back, but I didn't do that. So yeah, if I could change that, I would. I mean, technically I could change that, but I've already uploaded this gallery, and it's like, it's going to be a whole thing to like edit it. But yeah, I just changed around some of the art because I found that piece and like, that's gorgeous. So I put that in Anna's room, and then yeah, I put like some decorative stuff out. Not too much though, because I wanted it to feel lived in, but like not massively, because this is supposed to be the cleaner side of the house at least. And then we just get like this big display bookcase thing, and then put some plants out here, and then we get a rug, and that's pretty much it for the inside of the house. I think I don't really like those woven rugs like for myself, but I think in there it just like really worked for some reason with like all the tones that are in it. Generally they don't work for my colour palette, so I can't use them very often, so it was nice to be able to make it work. And then we just get like a little side table with a bowl for keys, and that's that. And then a little mirror, you know, check your fit and everything. And then moving outside, here they had trees, but they're damaging the foundation of the house with their root systems, so they're gonna have to pull them out. But I saw in the comments people who like live in Spain and hotter countries saying like, well, not necessarily don't do that, but it was more sort of like the trees make a really good sunscreen. So you either need like really good blackout curtains to keep the heat out, or you like you need something there. So I didn't really want to like blot it out with the trees that we have in game, so I did like this little hedge moment. Obviously you probably grow it a bit higher than that to block out light, but it gets the vibe across at least. And then I did like a little flower bed here. I don't know what's going on with that glitching with floor tiles. Apparently if I'd clicked off of it, it probably would have been fine, because I found that out later, but I didn't. And so I wanted like a nice little flower bed out here, just to sort of round off the build. Now, I don't know what Kevin's garden looks like in the slightest, but for the sake of this being an aesthetic build, I wanted to do something. So yeah, I threw together a nice little aesthetic garden. I mean, if they want to take any ideas from this, then great. If it doesn't help because it's like completely the wrong orientation or style or whatever, then that's fine. I mean, if they don't take any ideas from me anyway, that's fine. I had fun doing it. Like, it's whatever. And then I love those little cactus moments. And then they have like these little trees going around the outside of their garden at the moment that I did see, and they're not exactly like this. They're probably like little trees, but we don't really have anything that worked to the height that I wanted, so I just used those bushes. I'm not sure how realistic those bushes are in terms of where we're at climate wise, but whatever, I did it anyway. And then those pots that I just put up on the patio, they are representing these massive snake plants that Kevin has, and they are impressive. They're huge. And then I thought a pool could be nice, because obviously it's hot and everything. And then I just carried the shrubbery round as well, and we end up putting in a fence, but then that creates issues because technically this is a room, and it just fences and rooms, it's just so annoying. And I don't know what the issue was, because I'm pretty sure we can put fences within rooms in homes, like in actual, like in the house. If I wanted to put a fence there, I could. So like I don't get what the issue was, but sure. So I had to bash a hole in my fence and then try and fix it later, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, I just wanted a nice little pool moment, really. Because imagine when it's really hot, just like getting in the pool and cooling off would be amazing. Yeah, so you can see my issues with the fence, but then the columns were uneven and it was like really annoying me, so then I had to like adjust things, and it was like a whole thing. But I fixed it, it's fine. I just wish Sims would work a bit better, but it's fine. And then we got like this nice little parasol over the lounges, and then I did all this beautiful terrain painting, and then the game deleted all of it. When I loaded in to do the build tour after moving Kevin and Anna in, all my terrain paint was gone, and I was like, are you serious? So then I had the beautiful decision of being like, I don't have a lot of time to record this, so am I leaving it and having no terrain paint, or am I redoing the paint? And because of who I am as a person, I did redo the paint. Looking back at the build tour now, the grass is a bit green, so I do prefer the original terrain paint, but it is what it is, I suppose, because I really like the sort of like dusty, dried out grass, which I didn't get quite right when I went back to fix it. But it is what it is. The game's going to be the game. And then I just put out a tree this side, and then that is pretty much it. I just terrain paint under it. Okay, so I grabbed Anna and Kevin off of the gallery, and I will show you them quickly. So they are built by They are made by Dazzy Pear, and this is them. So this is the house. The shrubbery is probably not quite right. They currently have trees in front of those doors on the right. I may have already gone over this, but I put in hedges. So let's just hop inside and have a look. So in here we just have like a little boot area, letterbox, and a little place to sit down. And then in here we have the main entrance. Let's go round to the left first. So this is the rec room that they wanted. So they have sort of like this built-in fireplace moment. So yeah, we just got some comfy sofas, lots of cushions, pictures, that sort of thing. And then in here we have Anna's little area. with the vintage chess table and some plants and stuff. And then if we come through this door, we are into the kitchen. Let's pop outside quickly. So we have this barbecue area, and then out here into this covered sort of seating area, dining. And then if we come out here, we have some lounges, and then a fenced off pool, and then this is just a gate around here. So if we come back around through the kitchen, we have this big sort of like open space living dining area with all those double doors that they want to put in. And then in here, this is Kevin's office. So he has his little music booth thing in here, and then like main computer editing area or whatever in here. And then in here we have his recording setup, naturally with a picture of Jim Pickens because I had to. So then if we keep coming along, we then have the main bathroom with plants sticking to the walls. Just ignore that. It's nothing special, it's just a bathroom. And then this is what I'm presuming is the guest bedroom. I really need to move that tray. I will. And then finally in here we have the main bedroom with ensuite bathroom. So this is everything that we've got time for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this. It was something a little bit different to my usual Sims content. But yeah, if you have any suggestions of what you'd like me to build, or if you are going through a renovation and would like my opinion, let me know. I love any and all suggestions. Any feedback I get is absolutely amazing. But with that, I will leave you to the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye!